Alright guys, welcome to another video with me, the Song Dad. We are going to be going over the convergence data from last week. So stick around if you want to see the win rate of the convergence tool. I will be going over each and every one of the flips on convergence to see what price action did after it flipped, to see if it was a win or a loss. So stick with me. I love making these videos, so let's get right into it. Okay. Oh, this might be the wrong scene here. Hold on. Better, I guess. Okay, we'll do that one. Okay, so let's go on over to Monday the 12th. Take a screenshot here. Boom. Bam. Pow. Let's move that over here if it's going to move over. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I feel like last week the flow data was pretty choppy for the most part, but I feel like convergence did an okay job in keeping you out of stupid plays and then in the good ones, because I cannot talk today. What is going on? I feel like there were some good plays with the convergence and the flow divergence as well. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, I will briefly go over it real quick. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is actually pinpointing the divergence between calls and puts in each one, and then looking at the convergence flip. So in this case, you can see that calls are up here, and then we got a green flip here. So in this case, once that triggered green, it triggered around here at the 501.50 level on SPY. So in this case, we got a clear move to the upside. This white line is the price of SPY comparing to calls and puts. It gives you an idea of where price is relative to where the flow is. Okay, so in this case we got a green flip, so that would be a win in our books, right? So once we got in on calls, if there's a good divergence in calls, if we got in on the convergence flip, the momentum brought us up and we caught about $1.50 move to the upside on SPY. Excuse me. So I do believe that that Monday trade was pretty good. I feel like I did get into that one. I'll have to look at it. But nonetheless, a really, really good win there. So what I do in these backtest videos is I pinpoint each and every one of the colored flips, so whether it's green or red, and then we see where price is after that, and we'll give a win or loss to that. And then at the end of the week, we'll calculate to see how many wins and how many losses there were if we took every single one of these flips. Okay, so right here, I'm actually going to break out the ruler here because it's kind of hard to see exactly where it was. So we'll go 90. So it looks like it flipped green around this area. Bring out the marker here. So it did look like, okay, so that's right about where it triggered on price action. It looks like it did move up about 50 cents or so, and then it immediately tanked. So that was still a win because it did go up 50 cents on that move. But if we move it here to the gray convergence, you can see where it pretty much got you out. It was a little bit below the entry, but if you were disciplined and you took your profits and you set stop losses and a trailing stop loss, you would have gotten out on there. But what's cool here is it triggered the gray convergence and it caught that huge downside as well as the flow flip down right here. Don't get confused by my artistry here, but you can see that the red line here crossed over the green line because the green line started to sell off, meaning that calls were being sold off, which is very bearish. So you can see price pretty much followed that, and then we caught a red convergence there. Now, for the most part, it did go down about 50 cents or so, but it was on that knife down, and it pretty much chopped around for the most part. So we will count that one as a win because it did trigger and it did go down there. But if you were actually in that trade, you probably would have just gotten out at break even because gray convergence was there and it was relatively close to the alert on that red convergence. But for the sake of that, we will count that one as a win. And then this one here, it looks like that was just a wash trade as well because it just chopped around for the most part until the very end of the day where it did drop off about 50 cents. But it was great convergence at the time, so we won't count that one. So that one went 3 for 3. Awesome day. Monday was a great day. I think I did catch that nice move up in the morning, I'm pretty sure. So let me post that screenshot here, and then we'll move on to Tuesday. Tuesday the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So I'll take a screenshot here, pull it up. Okay, so it looks like we did get a red convergence trigger there around the 494 level, and it did go down, as a matter of fact, about 75 cents or so. So even though it was small here, it was probably relatively larger. In the morning, you could have seen it a little bit better, but that one did work out. And then the gray convergence caught the move to the upside there. Really awesome. And then it looks like red convergence flipped around here. It's really, really small, guys, because it did pick up. And then this big one here. So actually, it caught both those wins. Because this one here, it looks like it caught that mini move from 495 to 494-ish. And then it did go back up. It looks like it flipped gray for a little bit there. Down there, and then it flipped red there, which was the massive move to the downside. It looked like it went from like 494 all the way down to 491, which is about a $3.5 move or so once that triggered on this big huge red convergence flip there. So that was a tremendous day to the downside. 3 for 3 on that day. Screenshot that and post it over here so we have it. Okay, and then I feel like Wednesday and Thursday were a little bit rough. Maybe Thursday was a little bit worse than this, but a lot of green convergence flips on Wednesday. So you can see that it did flip here and then here. That one was probably going to be a loss, so we will count that one. But then it made up for it automatically on that move up from 496.50 all the way up to 497.75-ish, 498 or so. I do believe I did catch that move from 496.50 all the way up to that 498 level. That was a really, really awesome trade there. And then it looks like it flipped a little bit here, only for a couple minutes, but then it flipped for a little bit longer, about there. So that one would have been a good win. And then again, right here, another win there. And then here, another one here. I'm just eyeballing it, guys, but you can clearly see that that was a win there. And then another one here. So awesome day. So we probably will count this one as a loss just because it did look like it triggered up here or so, and then it did fall almost immediately. So it looks like 2 losses and then 5 wins. 5 wins and 2 losses, 5 for 7. Not bad. Okay, let's take a look at Thursday. Thursday the 15th. Okay, so this was a very choppy day as well as Friday. I remember Friday was even worse. So when flow is like this right in the mornings, you just don't trade it. So you can see that there were a lot of flips. So in this case, we're not gonna count any of this just because flow is so close together. But it looks like it did break out. About here is where it triggered. It looks like it went down briefly, but not very much until it got you out at about break even on that gray convergence flip. So we're not going to count that one. But then shortly after, it looks like it caught it not all the way down, and then it looks like a reverse. So probably we're going to have to take the loss on that one because it fell so quickly, and convergence, honestly, you probably, if you didn't get out within like a minute or two, you probably would have taken the loss on that one. So I will count that one as a loss because it was so close. It happened so fast there. Let's see. And then it was gray convergence for the entire day. So 1 loss there, 0 for 1. What's really cool about this is even though flow was relatively bearish for most of the day up until calls started to catch up, you can see that that gray convergence kept you out, even though flow was really, really choppy, which is cool to see. So we're going to have to chalk up the L on that Thursday. And then Friday, I think, was pretty much the same for flow. Remember, guys, on Friday, it was OPEX day, so there were a lot of contracts that were expiring on Friday. So that's why I think that Thursday and Friday were a little bit choppy as far as flow. So hopefully that fixes itself this next week. So let me take a screenshot of this last day here, Friday. We had gray convergence for the most part. This red convergence was a automatic L. So if you got into that one right off the bat, that caught the very bottom, it looks like, and then it reversed. Gray convergence did pretty good at immediately getting you out of that. But for the most part, that one was going to be chalked up as an L. It looks like it flipped red here briefly. That one was going to be, well, we will count that one as a win. And then it looks like full flipped positive, and then we caught a baby green there. So 2 really small wins there. But you can clearly see that it dropped it and then came back up, at least 50 cents there. It looks like this green convergence flip did a very good job as well. So about at the 501.75 level, and it caught a move to 502.50. Right there. So that one was a win. So it looks like 1 loss and then 3 wins, 3 for 4. Okay, so let's tally this up here on all of the convergence flips. I feel like it did pretty good. It does very, very well actually on the days with choppy flow. It keeps you out of bad trades and then in the good ones. So it looks like we had 3, 6, 13, 14, 18 trades out of how many wins? 18, 3, 8, 11, 14. So it went 14 for 18. So not bad. A 77% win rate. I know, there we go. You can see 77% win rate on the convergence flips. Now, there were probably only going to be 3 days out of that week that I probably would have taken them. Thursday and Friday, I probably would have gotten into this one put, and then that would probably been it for me, because divergence was only adamant right there is when puts were way up, and then it was pretty much choppy the rest of the day. That was it. And then maybe this green convergence here, you can see that calls were going up, and then puts were down below here. That cross there was really good. But for the most part, Monday and then Wednesday were your best bet. Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. You can see that there was a good divergence here, and then puts were at 0 or below 0. That green convergence flip was really, really good. And then Wednesday, I think, was the other one that I got into. Yeah, you can see that call flow was going up, and then we got that convergence flip there, and then we caught that move to the upside. So pinpoint and take the trades that are highly profitable. You can control your trading. You don't have to take every single convergence flip, guys. You can control which ones you do take. And I always look for the divergence in the flow. You guys know my strategy. I look for the divergence in flow, and then as well as GEX levels, and then if it's above EMAs and whatnot. And that's how I keep my win rate so high, is I take the pretty much the good convergence flips. You can pretty much see which ones are going to be the bad ones and then which ones will be the good ones. The midday ones are pretty much trash. I've talked about that a lot as well. The midday trades are kind of rough, like this one here. But yeah, guys, 77% win rate last week. Really awesome. Hopefully it continues better this week. So I will see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys in the community as well. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all. See you in the next one.